Good morning, Southwest Meat Association. My name's Rick Kimbrell, CEO of Start Clean Legacy, LLC. We provide contract cleaning services, detergents, and sanitizers to dozens of SMA members. I'd like to take a moment to thank our team, 400 strong here in the Southwest. For the last 6 months, they've been working harder than ever, just like the men and women in your plants. Without them, we wouldn't be able to serve the food industry. Our team, like yours, has continued to keep grocery store shelves full and stocked, and we're proud of that. Start Clean's honored to be the sponsor of the 64th Annual SMA Convention. I'm so glad we were able to at least meet in this format. The last time I missed an SMA convention was in 1987, the Orlando convention, when my father, Ray Kimbrell, he either couldn't or wouldn't fork over the money to take us to Florida. I'm thankful that my roots and our Start Clean family roots go back with SMA about as long as this old classic's been on the road. This is the best job I've ever had. Every day we get to build the culture and have the opportunity to create the best job that you've ever had for so many people, helping build careers that coexist with a healthy work-life balance. To do this, we've created the Start Clean Wins Leadership Training Program. This program is mentoring and training all of our existing and future sanitation managers, coaching them to be prepared, consistent, confident, and to follow through as they help manage your food safety. If you see someone walking through your plant with one of these on, stop and encourage them. Again, Start Clean commends all SMA members for their role in putting safe food on the table. The food industry will always be essential. We're proud to be a part of it. I know you are too. Work hard.
Our final speaker of the day, again, an old friend to the organization and to all of you, Dr. Jeff Savell, Texas A&M University. Looks like from his home office, like pretty much everyone else these days. So, Dr. Savell, welcome.
Hi, good to see all of you guys. Yes, from my common place here of where I've been since March. And so it's good to see everybody here today. And unfortunately, we've become too good at Zoom these days. So let me see if I can get up here. I got some quick slides. I decided not to do as much as what we normally would, just in interest of both time and as well as not being there with you guys in person. But I'll just kind of run through a few things here and kind of update you on that. So just kind of a quick update. Just kind of again, kind of thinking about the first course we had in meat science at Texas A&M was animal science 307. This will be the 94th year of that. So in this picture, we have Mr. Charlie Murphy back over here working with a bunch of the guys over the old meat lab, and Mr. Sims over here. And for those, if we got anybody left over here that remembers Bub Loftus, there's Bub over here, worked at Owens for a long time in that. So just kind of thinking about the class. Obviously, I'm missing hands-on, and we do, I'll give you a little update on COVID, at least here at the end. And I was glad to hear Mark talk about having the opportunity to still do some hands-on with some instruction and things like that. And we've struggled with trying to keep that going. And I'll give you at least an update on what we have planned for this fall in that. Just a quick update on personnel. We've been blessed to have a whole bunch of bodies that have been around for a long time. Unfortunately, some of us are getting into that age category that are a little bit more at risk at COVID. So we've been sent and kind of banished to our homes to kind of work out of and things like that. But we've been fortunate that we've had this group of folks for a long time. I did want to kind of give you an update. We do have, before I get to that, and obviously, like all the programs that you've heard, we love having these grad students. That's the opportunity we've had to train folks and let them train us too. And so this is the picture actually from last year's Reciprocal Meat Conference, as we missed this year's conference and with everything being online. But several of those folks have been passed SMA scholarship, foundation scholarship, honor sec scholarship, and a couple of them are present ones there. But I just want to kind of highlight how lucky we are to have so many great students that we're able to work with there. One of our new faculty members is Dr. Doss, Satna Doss. And so she's joined us in the microbiology area, and she's been doing some things that have been some things about hotspots. You notice in here, trying to look at some of the places where, from an equipment standpoint, facility standpoint, some of the challenges you have with some niches that could be associated with pathogens. So I just wanted to at least kind of, she would not be in that picture. That picture was taken a couple of years ago, but I just wanted to kind of introduce you that this is one of our newest faculty members. And the fact that she's been working, in fact, she came out of Nebraska and had worked with the Clay Center guys up there quite a bit. And so we're fortunate to have her here, and she, in some of this work she's doing has got a lot of publicity of it here kind of locally on looking at some of the food processing areas and trying to look at niches and things like that. I also wanted to kind of highlight, in fact, I had to see this on Facebook. I didn't realize that Chris Kurth had just received, in fact, this week, the Distinguished Research Award from the American Society of Animal Science. So we want to give a shout out to Chris for being recognized for that. And many of you know Chris, and Chris has been involved, especially with a lot of the flavor work that's been going on. And Chris has been with us about 10 years at A&M now, and you know, kind of came over from Auburn and kind of re-established himself in a new area. So he's worked a lot individually. He's worked with Rhonda Miller here on campus. He's worked with the folks at Colorado State and Texas Tech, and a lot of the collaborative work that's going on there. So I just want to give a shout out on that. Some of you may know, some of you may not know that Dr. Hell has joined the dark side. He has become an administrator. And so Dr. Hell left back, I think late last fall, and became the Associate Director for Agriculture and Natural Resources for the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. So he's kind of the grand high person that would deal with any of the agricultural specialists primarily and things like that. And so in the whole ag and natural resources. And so congratulations to him. We have had a position that was advertised. We were in the process of interviewing people when COVID hit. So all that's just on hold right now. And I think with the budget cutbacks, we've been told that, and I'm sure that my other colleagues that are still on can tell you what they've been told. We've been told that Texas A&M University needs to prepare for a 7.5% budget reduction. The agencies, which would be the Texas A&M AgriLife Research and AgriLife Extension, would be about 5% each. So hang on that, but we're kind of on hold on that. But I want to at least give you a couple of updates on some of our faculty members and some of the stuff that are going on. Again, like everybody else, our programs have kind of come to a halt on a lot of the stuff, but I just want to kind of share a couple of things here. In the importance of having the hands-on lab type things, you just don't know what you miss until you miss it. And so these were just kind of pictures of just some of the activities with Beef 101 and Beef 706 and Pork 101 and other kinds of things going on. But as say, since this time, because all these are being hands-on type activities, have all been halted at that point. It was kind of interesting. We got ready to do barbecue summer camp. We didn't get ready to do that. That was supposed to be in June. And they said, well, you can't do that. You have to have social distancing. Everybody has to wear masks. I said, it's kind of hard to have a barbecue workshop where everybody wants to stand around a barbecue pit and eat and expect that you're not going to have a lack of social distancing, a lack of mask wearing and all that. So all that just, you know, is on hold until hopefully 2021, we can get things going. But, you know, there's been some opportunities. Dr. Griffin and Dr. Gill with our group, in fact, it was A&M with West Virginia University and North Dakota State University started doing some webinars. And I think this was all planned ahead of all this stuff, but this was kind of interesting. In fact, this is just a copy of it, so you probably can't see very much. This is one where they're talking about kind of, you know, what happens when the cattle get to the processor. And you notice over here, Dustin Dean with Dean and Peeler. Here's Jonathan Savell at Standard Meat, Jim Lanier at HEB. There's Catherine Miller here that was a beef industry consultant. So each evening, each week, there would be some kind of group of people that came together, and there were a bunch of folks that were from all over the country that participated. So I think sometimes, this may have been planned that way because you wouldn't have maybe one whole group of people that would come together for this. But now we're getting more comfortable of having educational programs online, some other things, and maybe this gives us some opportunities to expand the opportunities for involving other people and things like that. Speaking of that, you saw David Anderson yesterday, and you probably saw a slide that looked like this, except this is a little bit earlier in the semester. We were in contact with a lot of our friends through the barbecue world, and they were just struggling. What are we going to do? Are we going to have products? What's the cost going to be? And all those things like that. And so we usually have in December a town hall meeting for the barbecue restaurant operators and things like that on campus. What we decided to do this time is we've actually had two of them that were kind of quick and pulled them together on Zoom and had the opportunity. And we had Dr. Anderson just give kind of like what you saw yesterday at the convention, gave a real quick update. Here's what's happening on, prices. Here's what's happening on availability and all those things. And it was almost like, by the time he would give a talk, the next week it was something be different. Is either too much, not enough of some different kinds of things. And of course, those guys being so independent in their operations don't have as much flexibility on volume buying, forecasting, and those kinds of things like that. We even had one that was just on, what do you do on opening up the restaurants? And we had some of the people around the governor's task force that were involved in that, just tried to share some stuff early in that. So the use of technology kind of helped in those things. Just like Mark talked about and Ty and everybody talked about so far, all the laboratories are kind of at the, still running, still trying to run during this kind of crazy time period. And one of the things at the Rosenthal Center, Ray Riley's been involved with helping some of the cattle producers that are some of the, what I call farm to table type folks. They were running out of places to take livestock to be slaughtered and things. So during this summer, there's been activity trying to help some of the people out that have some small operations that are doing some, kind of what I call custom processing, but processing where they can do that. So something we haven't done in the past, but something we've been trying to help out some of our producer folks, especially in the cattle industry, try to help them be able to keep products in the marketplace. The last stuff I just want to talk about, just, kind of give you a quick COVID-19 impact at Texas A&M. And this is, it's all being discussed. It's, it's changing. Who knows what all is going on, but, we all got used to doing stuff with Zoom, and here I am. I don't know what I'm doing. This is early days. So I'm sitting on the back porch and I'm taking a picture of me, taking a picture of me. So Zoom will make you do some kind of funny things on that. So I've got two computers going on. I don't know what I'm trying to do at that point, but it's given us some other opportunities. I was sitting in my office one day and Dr. Temple Grandin called and she said, I'm not giving any talks anywhere. I can't travel anywhere. Everybody's canceled all my talks. Do you have any need for me to give a talk for one of your classes? I said, yes, I do. And so we got her within a couple of weeks and had her, you can see she's in her kitchen there at her home. And she just shared some time with her students. And so that was very, very good to have that. So out of something kind of bad, we end up having something that kind of good. We couldn't go out. This is in the spring. We end up having students that couldn't, we had to go online at that point. So I've got Dr. Jason Clear here talking about feedlot, talking about some stuff here. So again, instead of taking people to the feedlot, you got the feedlot kind of coming into them. And so we saw some of those. And then even when you're giving a talk about bacon processing, and all of a sudden you have a question, you realize that you can just get up and go to the refrigerator to bring in some product and bring it back and show it to the students. That's been kind of an interesting thing. In the meats class this past week, I got talking about some of the labels, and I just went in and got a package of hot dogs and brought it out here and started talking about stuff. So again, just have to come up with different ways of doing some of the things. Our classes have been moved up. I think a lot of the universities have had this same type thing. We would have started like the next week, but we're here just a few weeks away from starting, which is on a Wednesday. And the whole point is to try to get the semester in, at least what's going to be done face to face before Thanksgiving. And I think what they want to do then is send everybody home after Thanksgiving and say, don't come back. And then the rest after Thanksgiving will be all online. We'll finish up all those kinds of things. Probably shouldn't surprise you that face coverings are going to be required of everybody. In fact, I'm sitting in our what we call our craft room here at the house, and Jackie's been making masks, and she's got all kinds of stuff. Looks like a little sweatshop in here, but she's making masks for family and friends and things like that. So, you know, it's the life we're living, but that's also going to be one of the things that happen. Seats have been allocated or working on for social distancing. So now, you know, we're in Animal Science 307, we would have 150 students in a 150 seat classroom. Well, first of all, it happened, the lecture for Animal Science 307 for the fall will be taught online. So I'll just teach it either home or I'll go to the office and teach it. Thank goodness right now, unless all hell breaks loose, the labs will be face to face. And so we've had to plan on how we're going to go through and have social distancing with that. Probably bringing the students in. So if you have a lab of 20, you might have 5 groups of 4, and the first group shows up at the start of lab, and then you'll just kind of go through and bring them in a little bit at a time so they can go through that process and things like that. And then again, having the rooms, we've got more time between the classes. What's unfortunate for the students that they're kind of like, don't go mingle anywhere, just get the hell off campus or something. So I don't know what's going to happen, but just try to get them out of the way there. So classrooms are looking at 33% normal classroom occupancy. As you can expect, there's not many great big classrooms. There are big classrooms, but it doesn't take long to get those used up and that. The plan is to have 50% of the courses offered face-to-face with the thought of at least 75% of the students having 2+ courses in person. So I know that that's been something that the chancellor has pushed on that, and that would obviously impact us in West Texas A&M to try to get as much of this as going, try to get as much face-to-face things as possible. And you've seen all this as just other kinds of things here about, you know, petitions, other kinds of things. So it's a kind of a new world, just like all of you guys in your business are having to go through. At universities, we're having to go through that now, trying to figure out how we're going to do research, how we're going to do teaching, how we're going to do various workshops, especially where so much of what we've done has been hands-on in the past. So anyway, I want to thank you guys again. Thank you for all the support over the years. Miss not having this, not being there with you. I look forward to hoping that this, that could at least had a trip to San Antonio. We'll save that, Joe, for another time when next year, and hopefully we're all good to go. But again, thank you for all your support, and thank you for allowing all of the universities to have a chance to give you just a quick update on some of the things that are going on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, a final thank you to all of our university faculty that participated today. As I mentioned earlier, we thoroughly enjoy these updates and finding out what's going on everywhere, and appreciate, you know, all that you do to support our industry.